Alright guys, I did a paint job on my AR, and I know some of you guys were asking about the paint job, so I wanted to show you what you're going to need and supplies you're going to need to move forward with the paint job. First I'll show you the paint I used. That's just a Rust-Oleum camouflage paint, ultra cover. Different colors. This one here is just a color I had. You probably won't use that, but I can just wanted to show you something that you could potentially use. And then all these are the same camouflage paint. And then this one here is just a paint and primer, same brand as the other one, still Rust-Oleum. I just use fishing line. I use that to type my AR. This here is just fishnets, so a little pair of fishnets for my wife that she didn't want to use anymore. Gives you that snakeskin pattern. Scissors, razor knife, cutting pad, and tape. And then I'm just going to cut my designs of the overlay I have out of the tape. So I'll lay the tape down in strips, and I'll show you later on in the video, and just cut it in patterns. What I'm doing today is I'm actually going to paint my Smith & Wesson hard case from the traditional blue. So, alright, as you'll see, I have my tape laid out on my mat. I'm just going to commence cutting the patterns that I want to cut out into the tape, and that'll be my overlay, and I'll show you how to do the base coat and the overlay to get the colors that you're looking for. Alright guys, so this is the patterns that I cut out. Again, those are just strips of tape that I put on there. I cut the patterns out. To be honest with you, just keep it simple. I mean, you can do it however you want it, straight edge. You can do more pointed, however you guys like it. You can even cut stuff out of the center of the tape to make it look more three-dimensional. I mean, if you're doing real camo, the whole point of camo is just breaking it up and making it look more natural, not as a solid color that stands out. So there are patterns online you can purchase. You can purchase like stencils for like the Ryptec pattern, whatever different patterns you want in camo. But me, I'm honestly just keeping it simple, and this is exactly how I did my AR. Alright guys, since I started doing this today, I didn't realize, but the wind has picked up. Regardless, this is how I did it. Outside the front of my house, just strung them up from side to side. It's windy. It's nice temperature to do this today, so the paint should set real nicely, just to keep it from moving too much. That's kind of how I hung them up. Alright, so I'm just going to explain the spray to you. So your base coat's going to go down on top of these. Whatever your base coat is, you're going to lay the stencil, or in this case the fish netting, over the top to make it look like a snake skin once the base coat dries. So the second color is going to go in between. So whatever your base coat is exactly what the stencil here, that's the color it's going to be. So I'm actually going to do a green, like a light green base coat. So it's going to look funny when you first put the base coat down, but just remember the base coat's not going to be the paint that's shining through completely. Alright guys, here is the first coat of paint. I don't know if it's hard to see or easy to see, but it's got that light green base coat. Stuff on the outside here, maybe I can look in to get more. Hey guys, I apologize, I actually started painting before I took the video, but regardless, you can see my pieces on over top of the snakeskin pattern that I had. So these are all the pieces that are going to be over the top. That's going to mask the original two-tone that I had with that snakeskin pattern, or that whatever the webbing pattern you want to call it. It's remnant to say snakeskin, that's why I call it snakeskin. But regardless, that's how you do it. And then I started painting my final coat over the top. I'm going to go ahead and finish that up, and you guys will see the finished product shortly. Alright guys, so once the paint is dry for that bottom brown coat, the tan coat, or what I like to call coyote brown, whatever you want to call it, I put a dark brown coat just over the strips to give it kind of a 3D layer effect. I mean, you can get as creative as you want, or as simple as you want, but once that dries, the the stencil comes off. And there it is. There's your discount Ryptec pattern, courtesy rattle cans. Pretty simple, pretty easy to do. Looks pretty badass. I like the look anyway. Actually, I think this case turned out better than my rifle did. However, hey, live and learn. Continue to practice with it. But regardless, there you go. That's how you do it.